All right, great day, everyone. Brian Arahan here, Keller Williams Realty North Tustin. I'm here with a friend of mine, real estate pioneer extraordinaire, Cody Gibson. Again, thanks for tuning in with Big Real Estate Business events, and we have another great event coming up here, February 26th. And I thought it would be a great idea for us to get together and really have a quick little snip with one of the industry leading expansionists in the industry, Cody Gibson. Hey, Cody, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Ryan, man. Thank you so much for having me down there in February. I cannot wait to come see your group.
Yeah, man, we're gonna blow it up. This is gonna be the biggest event that we've ever had with Big Real Estate Business. And if you've seen our other events with other top agents in the industry, you want to be there. And honestly, we only bring the best. And Cody, we love to say that you are the best because you are. So congratulations on what you're doing. And if you don't know what Cody's been doing, over 1,000 transactions closed with this group, United Home Group, last year. One of the top few agents in the country to even break that 1,000 threshold mark. How does it feel, Cody, being able to do that?
We're tired, man.
Yeah. Well, you're always uncomfortable, aren't you?
Yeah, we're tired, and we're also excited to go see. I mean, it's an interesting question because I say it facetiously because we kind of are tired. At the same time, we're amped to make 1,000 a floor instead of a ceiling. It took us a long time to get here. And what's interesting is while it took us a long time to get here, when you step back and look at it, it doesn't feel like that long. When you're in the grind, it feels like forever, right? So now that we're there, as tired as we are, we're excited to make 1,000 a floor instead of a ceiling. And I know that you get that.
Absolutely. And so you actually broke and give us a little bit of a background because, I mean, you've done so much in seemingly a short amount of time when firing up your model. And I remember the conversation or the recording that you had with Gary Keller a long back saying that I think you want out of your business is what that call was called. And so I want out of my business and you wanted to launch your business. And I get it was a rebel thing to do. Imagine wanting to come in and run your real estate business, but not wanting to go on any appointments. I'm like, wait. Did he just say that? And I remember listening to the call the first time. He's like, I don't go on any appointments, but you ended up closing a crazy amount of homes that year. And then it was all like, tell me about that. What was your mindset? What happened before? What made you get into that mindset? And then what did you do after that?
The story that you're talking about was from 2010. I started a real estate team in Portland, Oregon, where I didn't live and I'd never sold a home before. And while I'd been in real estate for 10 years at that point, and I'll talk about the rest of the story at your event in February. I'll go into the rest of the details because there are some key points that everybody could use in their own business and their own life. Though in 2010, I started a real estate team in a city I didn't live in, I'd never sold a home in, and I didn't have a team. And I remember telling Gary, listen, I'm going to start this team. I don't live here. I've never sold a home. Though we're going to sell over 100 homes our first year, and I'm not going to go on any appointments. I'm not going to meet with any buyers. I'm not going to meet with any sellers. And, it's not then later when we did that interview, I think that interview happened in 2012 when you're talking about that went on agentmountain.com. That was talking about what happened in 2010. And then they titled it, I Want Out of My Business. Interesting where the title came about because really I didn't want out. I just wanted in on my terms.
Yeah.
And my terms were I didn't want to meet with buyers and sellers on Thursday night. I'd already done that. I did it for 6 years in Anchorage, Alaska, where I was a mega agent from 2000 to 2006. I did it there. So, and what's interesting too is that I didn't not enjoy it. I enjoyed listing homes on Thursday night. I enjoyed putting deals together on Saturday afternoon and shucking and jiving and moving and going on. I liked that. The problem was, as much as I was intrinsically involved with it, was also my ceiling. Couldn't go any further. As many deals as I could go meet face-to-face with people was as far as my business could go. So when I came back into selling, because I took 4 years off to go and lead in real estate. When I came back into selling, I said, you know what, man, I've been teaching the MREA models. I'm going to go do it the right way. And as hard as it was, man, we did it. And that first year we sold 104 homes. So we hit our goal, and I didn't meet with any buyers or sellers.
And that's extraordinary. And really, I mean, what did that do for you? Because you went from working in the business and having a habit your whole life built around that to saying, you know what? Let's go and re-scratch, rebuild, go into a whole nother city. You've never been there and say, I want to go not only from in the business. And it's usually easier because, hey, you're the guy, you're the one, you've been used to doing it. Now you're going to say, I'm going to work through others versus doing it myself. I mean, what was that like?
we had some unique challenges, right? Because what I didn't have, Brian, what you're alluding to, what I didn't have when I did this in Portland was I didn't have 10 years of selling homes here.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have, I had nobody, like not one, zero, zilch, nada, nothing. I had not one person call me in 2010 and say, hey, you sold me a home 5 years ago. I need to sell it. I need to sell it. That didn't happen. So I had
past clients
business. Every one of those 104 transactions was highest, nice to meet you. Let's go buy a house. Highest, nice to meet you. Will you list with me? Like every one of them was brand new business. And so, of course, a few years later, the referrals show up and the ancillary business and the second time and third time and the generations of business show up. Though we had the unique challenge, which ultimately ended up being a blessing, because every deal we had to go hunt it down. We had to find it. We had to skin it ourselves. Like we had to do all of it, right? And so at your event in February, I'd like to talk about if you're brand new or if you're just starting a business, here's how you can go do it that way. At the same time, though, I don't want to overlook all the friends in the room who have 5 or 10 or 20 years in the business. How do you take what you've got and leapfrog it and get further than I did faster? Because most people don't do it the way that I did it, which is the worst way to do it, which is, hey, there's a cool city. I'll go move there and sell a bunch of homes. That's the least likely way to succeed. You can do it. It's just the hardest way to go.
Absolutely. And so what's been in that journey, because right now you go from that going in your first year selling over 100 homes without going on any appointments, and so this year being on projected to do over 2,000 transactions this year. So, I mean, what's been the most pivotal point from doing that, going 100 homes in your first year without doing any appointments to where you are now? What's that pivotal growth key been for you?
I'll kind of leave you, and I know we're on a short time. I get that. I'll kind of leave you with this, though. I think being a part of Gary Keller's private mastermind group for years, one of the things he has said over and over again that I think about constantly is we tend to overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we tremendously underestimate what we can do in 3 or 5 years. And so I think about that all the time. And so for me, one of those pivoting points is really, you know what? I got to the point, it was probably in 2013, 2014, because we had some years where we would double the business and then we wouldn't double it at all. Like we'd barely just do what we just did. I mean, it's not every year that you just always double. And so we had to learn some of those lessons the hard way. And I remember about 2013, it might have been 2014, where I stopped and I looked and I thought, man, we can literally do anything from here. If we can sell a couple hundred homes, we can sell a couple thousand homes. The only difference between the two are the systems, the model, and the people and the leverage, the tools that you might use to do that. And so I think about some of the people that you'll have in the room. If you sold 10 homes last year, you can sell 40 homes this year. The only difference is the models and systems. If you sold 20 homes, you can sell 100 homes. Again, the only difference is the models and systems behind it. And so honestly, when we started cracking those numbers, we started thinking, just how far can this go? Just how big can this be? And today, I think about our expansion group today is in over 100 cities nationwide. And I stop and I think, number one, I thought we'd be here in ways, I thought we'd be here faster. And in other ways, we've gotten here much quicker than we thought we would. So I really don't know. I'm a bad guesser. One of the things I've learned. What I've also learned is you can't beat somebody who won't stop. You can't beat somebody who won't give up. You can't win against them because they'll never go away. And so I want to think about that for our event on the 26th. Of course, we'll talk about the 51 list. And we'll talk about the Thrive and the idea of using the 51 list to exponentially increase your business. So, Brian, thank you so much for having me. Is there anything we haven't answered that you wanted to?
Real quick, I mean, how did that 51 list come about? What agents being able to get that? And why should an agent come out to hear about the 51 list? And more specifically, how that's going to help them shift gears and more specifically thrive in the shift?
What I tell you about the 51 list is that the feedback, we've now delivered the 51 list across North America probably 220, 230 times. Yours will be the first time that we've delivered the 51 list that is designed to be in a truly shifting market. Across the country, as I taught this last year, there was one city that I went to the beginning of the year, and the beginning of the year, they said, listen, how do you find listings when there's no listings to find? And I was like, all right, we can deal with that. Towards the end of the year, same city, my man, same city, towards the end of the year, they said, how in the world do you deal with all these listings that aren't selling?
Right, exactly, because we're seeing it all across the country.
Yes, only difference was a 9 month window, right? And so all of a sudden you go, whew, man, we're not in a shift, it's already shifted. Like that's a fact. Lead times are different, ADOMs are different. I mean, one of the things I'm going to talk about, I don't want to talk about all of it, those I'm going to talk about how do you find yourself in a shift and how do you move out of it? In other words, when the market begins to shift, if you've been jumping this high to hit whatever your number is, whether it's 10 homes a year, 100 homes a year, 1,000 homes a year, if all of a sudden if the market drops, you don't hit the same number anymore. And man, you've got to be willing to jump even higher, which means you got to get ready. You got to get strong. You've got to jump higher and harder just to hit the same number. So here's what happens long term. This will be my third shift in the real estate industry. None of them have been enjoyable. Be real clear on that. Listen, they have not been enjoyable, though all of them have been profitable. And so what happens is when you get used to jumping that high, when the market shifts again, do you get my point?
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, I mean, it becomes very clear that what you give up in this market, the market share that you lose, you're probably never going to see again. The clients you lose, the market share, the listings, you're never going to get it back. Though what you take in this market, the territory that you take, you'll never give up. You'll never relinquish that.
Right. And that's huge, man. I'm pumped, Cody. You know, you and I have been in communication for a long time, and it's been a while since we've been able to do an event here in our backyard in SoCal. So I know you're going to bring it. We have a lot of fun, and actually we have an opportunity for a couple VIP sessions with Cody.
That's right. Yeah.
Small closed environments. I'm going to have an opportunity to have breakfast with Cody, and also an opportunity to have a lunch for you to be able to pick his brain more specifically and pertains how it pertains to your business. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And don't forget, visit bigrealestatebusiness.com in order for you to order your tickets to get more information about how to get your tickets ASAP, because we do have an early bird special and the tickets will sell out. So if anything else, let me know if you have any questions. Cody, anything from you?
The only thing I would add, Brian, is thank you so much for staying with it. I know that you've had to hound our office a little bit to get this for your city. I know you've had to ask a number of times. What I mean by hound is you wouldn't go away. So thank you very, very much for putting it together. It's our pleasure to be able to find a date. Finding a date in our calendar that worked with yours, no easy feat. Thank you. I'm going to be absolutely you know what drives me nuts is when somebody stands on stage or teaches and they act like it's no big deal. Or they act like, oh, shucks, you know what, we just kind of landed here. You know what? Pish posh. No one just lands anywhere. It's hard freaking work. It's really difficult. And there's a lot of wins that we'll talk about what the wins look like. You know, for me, though, one of the things that's almost more important is not just the wins. Where did you screw up? Like, what went wrong? You know, what ball did you drop? What did you screw up so bad that it cost you a bunch of money? It cost you an employee. It cost you a person. It cost you a relationship. I'm going to talk about some of the screw-ups along the way. And I want to be as open and as honest about, listen, here's all the things we've done right, and we all should applaud. I applaud too, and it's cool. At the same time, though, here's some of the mistakes that were made that not everybody has to make too. So we're going to talk about both the successes and the failures. So, and thank you for having me. Thanks for putting this together. I'm excited for your group and the things that you've been doing there by bringing in some of the caliber of people. And I've looked at the list. It's incredible. So not everybody pulls that off, and most leaders can't. So what you're doing there and the breadth that you have there, it's wide. So good job, my man. I appreciate you.
Much appreciated, Cody. Cody G. All right, have a great rest of the day, all. BigRealEstateBusiness.com. Buy your tickets. It's going to be a great event, and why not?
See you guys soon. Thank you.